Build a PC with me. So to build a computer, you need 7 components. Power supply, GPU, CPU, RAM, a case, storage.
Follow for part 2.
www.pcbuildpt.com.
Now let's put it together. Make sure you align this triangle with that little white mark right there, or else this won't go in. You might mess up your CPU. That's the CPU. This little notch lines up with those little tabs right there, and then you just slip that in and hear the click. Nice. You got to put some thermal paste on the CPU before you put the cooler on. Doesn't look pretty, but that should be enough. When you put on the cooler, first I'm going to plug it in where it says CPU fan. Then you got to do one side, just a little bit, then diagonally on the other side, also just a little bit, then the other two, just so they can reach the back plate, and then you go on a clockwise formation. So like this, and slowly but surely you will get there. And so on, until it's tight enough.
Part 3 is up already.
www.pcbuildpt.com.
Don't forget to put the I/O shield on. Not exactly the easiest thing sometimes. Gotta make sure it clicks into place. Like that. It's almost there. Now that the I/O shield is there, we're going to place the motherboard. Very carefully. Make sure it lines up with the I/O shield. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on this motherboard. We're going to add a cable fan splitter because this motherboard only has one system fan header. So we're just going to add that in here. And now we can add up to 3 fans to this system. Now that the fans are installed, I'm going to start connecting the front panel connectors and everything else before I put in the PSU and the GPU. Make sure you figure out which one is the audio and which one is the USB, because they're kind of similar, but they have a different variation of holes. And you just have to line it up correctly with your motherboard. It's not that hard.
Follow to check out the rest.
www.pcbuildpt.com.
Now we're going to add some cable extensions for the motherboard CPU, and it's going to make it look a little bit prettier than the mustard and ketchup cables. Now we're going to add the power supply. Power supply has a fan, and we usually put that on the bottom so it can suck in some air. So I'm going to move all these cables away. And then I'm going to screw it in. Now I have to connect everything to the power supply. So, first things first is the motherboard. And since we're using the extension cable, that's where you connect it. And then we're going to put the CPU, which is right here. Even though I'm only using a 4-pin, I'm going to connect all 8 pins just to make sure it's all correct. Now I have to line this up properly because these usually have a little peg here that connects to each other, but this power supply does not. So there we go. That's that. And here's the extra 4-pin. It's just gonna be hidden here somewhere at one point. For now, that's how it stays. Now, I'm gonna connect the SSD, leaving an extra SSD connection, and I'm gonna connect the fans, which are in the back. So here, this one will connect both of the SSDs, and this one with the Molex will connect both of the fans. Everything is connected. Now, it looks like a mess, so we're gonna clean it up. There we go. This case has absolutely no cable management in the back, so we have to put a couple cables here, and we just have to manage these carefully through here and route them as best as we can. I'm leaving out a couple cables so we can connect a SSD that the customer has in his house, and it's going to complete the system. Now we're going to add the GPU.
The final part is up below for more.
www.pcbuildpt.com.
So we're just going to slot it in like so. And we're going to push it in. Bam. And now I have to screw it in on the side here. Right there. Now all that's left to do is pop the side panels back in. There you have it. You've built yourself a computer. All the fans are spinning, and the front one is spinning. The HDD light is on, or SSD in this case. And we already got Windows installed. It just needs to update. But yeah, congratulations. You've built yourself a gaming PC.
Hit me up if you need help with your PC.
www.pcbuildpt.com.